50, 50th installment, 50th episode of the Purple Rain podcast with your boy Sutton Def and me, simply AS10. Some can call it the Otaro Alaka episode. Me, I'm going to go old school. The Mike Singletary episode, the 85 Bears. But, we're here to talk Ravens. But real quick, where can they find you at on social media? Let's just get it out the way.
Yeah, man. What's up, Rain Gang? You can find me, Sutton Def, that is, on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. Pretty much, if you just search me up on there, you can follow me. Shoot me a DM. Yeah, Google me, honestly. Google Sutton Def. Just like you can Google this guy, Simply AS10. You can find him on Twitter or Instagram at Simply AS10. And on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. Make sure, most importantly, you guys make sure you follow or subscribe, rather, to his YouTube channel, Simply AS10. He's over 20K subs now, and he is well on his way to much, much more. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're new, and like the video, guys. Like the video. We're just about to get started here. Make sure you go ahead and like the video because we got tons to talk about tonight, and we are very excited to chop it up with the Rain Gang. Let's see who's in here so far. Let's see. Let's do a little roll call. Rain Gang roll call. You guys know what's up. Tyler Sugar's in the building. What's up, man? TCB Ravens Media in the house. What's up, guys? Rush in the building.
Rocking
it says rocking the PRP shirt.
Yeah, the third one. The only other one out there. So thank you, Rush.
That's
we
rare.
Appreciate that.
That's rare. Jonathan Washington Jr. What's up, Rain Gang? Zeke Phillips in the house. I see my boy Click One is in here. Void's in the house. KLA Sports is in here. Darius the official is in the house. Says Rain Gang in here. Yes, sir. We in here full effect tonight. We appreciate you guys for coming through and joining the stream tonight for a very special episode. This is episode 50, guys. This is kind of a big thing.
Yeah. I wish we had something bigger planned for it. It kind of just came up out of nowhere. I didn't even know until today. I was like,
snuck up on us.
Oh, shoot, it's 50.
Right.
I wish it was like the mid-season, but it's not.
I know.
We'll hit 100 hopefully mid-season, so we'll do some fun stuff there. But, while we're here, let's just talk some Ravens football. Why not?
Yeah, why not? So, let's just get right into it, guys. There's been not too much going down lately.
It's been a snooze fest.
Yeah, it's been kind of a snooze fest, and I think the biggest thing that most Ravens fans are waiting to hear about next is, okay, are the Ravens going to go out and sign a free agent edge rusher to add to that Ravens defense? And, we've had guys come in and visit, like, Justin Houston. He came into Baltimore and he paid us a visit about a month ago or so, and he kind of left Baltimore without a deal. And now that we're a week and a half or so removed from the draft and he's still not on the squad, it's like, okay, what are we doing? What's the plan here? So a lot of people have been talking about, okay, is getting an edge rusher, because we just got Odafe Owe in the first round, right? Is getting an edge rusher truly, like, worth it? Like, right now in free agency, we got about $11 million cap. Do we go out and get, spend about $9 million of that cap on Justin Houston? Or, like, what do we do with that? Like, what do you think about that?
Or Melvin Ingram. Or Olivier Vernon. They are out there. So it's kind of confusing a little bit, but I see you put up our first super chat. We don't really have reliable pass rush, and maybe our new toys can make some magic with a little wand emoji. That's a great point. We also drafted Dalen Hayes, re-signed Tyus Bowser, have Pernell McPhee, have Jalen Ferguson. But are you comfortable with that? If we go into week one with that being our edge rushers, how are we feeling?
Man. I just want to know that it's a project. And by the way, thank you so much, Spencer, for being our first Super Chat donation of the night. We appreciate you so much for joining the stream and donating to the channel. But I just think it would be a work in progress. Like you said, man, we've got Dalen Hayes and Odafe Owe that are new now, on top of Pernell McPhee and Tyus Bowser. Bowser and a guy who's more so known for like dropping back in pass coverage. McPhee more so as just kind of like that veteran presence. They're not going to give you that high-end production like an 8 sacks like a Justin Houston. He's not even an every down guy. So, just adding in that young nucleus of talent with Dalen Hayes and Odafe Owe to those edge rushers, it would just be a work in progress. It's going to take some time to kind of season them into the, Ravens defense. The Ravens defense, it's not the easiest system for rookies to learn, and we've seen that in the past years.
Yeah.
We've seen players go from, just kind of being decent to actually being really, really good players in kind of like year 2, year 3, year 4. So, I think it would just be a work in progress. But so I definitely think that we need to go out and sign a free agent edge rusher. But in the meantime, guys, we do have another super chat donation. This one is coming in from our guy, MMA Ike Turner. Big shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much, man. He says, "What's good, PRP? Nothing much, man. We're chilling. How are you? Let us know. Let us know. How are you doing, man? Yeah. Yeah, our guy Boz is also in the house. Mod Boz in the house. Big shout out to him. Let's see. Our guy Anonymous asked the question right off the bat. I'm going to ask this to Simply AS10 because he brings up both names. He says, do y'all like Melvin Ingram or Justin Houston?
I'm going to go Justin Houston. I'll take either or, but Houston's been producing, and he's been healthier. Now, if we got Ingram, I'd be as excited. It's just the injuries, man, turned me off. I think about it last year. Calais Campbell was out a couple of games. Brandon Williams out a couple of games. And we saw what happened when they were not playing. But if we can bring Justin Houston, who literally was producing at the age he's at with a different team, he's done it with the Chiefs, done it with the Colts, and he can do it with the Ravens. Yeah. That's why I would take him. But like I said, I'd be happy with either or at this point.
Right. Yeah, honestly, I would be happy with either or. I'd be happier with Justin Houston just because of the production. And I think like he's the type of player who you get him on an actual contending team like the Baltimore Ravens, who are known for defense. He would thrive, I feel like, in that culture, in that locker room, in that atmosphere. Yep. Playing for the Ravens at M&T Bank on Sundays. I just think that it would be a perfect fit. And, I think he's probably asking for somewhere around like $10 million for a contract from us. And we probably have, I think we have around like 11 million cap space. So if we could get that done, if there's some way we can reconstruct some deals or just get him down to a good price that we would necessarily want to pay.
Or a heavily incentivized contract.
Yeah, exactly. That too. But here's another thing though. We are like a week and a half removed from the draft and nobody's signed him. Nobody's jumped at him. Yeah. So the leverage for the Ravens is actually going up.
And the Colts are out of it. Let's just be honest. They drafted Kwity Paye, and today they go and sign, who was it? Was it Fisher, I believe? Eric Fisher? It's like a 1-year, $9 million deal. Yeah. So they just dropped money they could have spent on Justin Houston for one more year.
Yeah.
On a lineman who's not even going to be ready because he's coming off an ACL injury. So I think you can say the Colts are out of it. So I don't know who else is in for Justin Houston, but I think right now we hold a lot of leverage because I saw a couple people brought it up. Kerrigan's out there. You have Vernon, Ingram, and Houston. That's 4 starting caliber edge guys that can come into this team and start. Honestly, they can start on this team and make a difference. Yeah. So I think we hold a lot of leverage because it's like you want too much, cool. We can go get somebody else, less money. It's your choice.
Yeah. Here's a point brought up by our guy Jay Rum. Thank you for joining the stream tonight, bro. He says Ravens are worried about the salary cap. Chiefs could care less about the salary cap. And I'm just going to kind of add like a little extension to what you said there. And I think that's the difference between, a team that's, really trying to make that push for multiple Super Bowl appearances. Am I right there? Or is our guy J Rum right there?
Never lied. And I saw today they're actually reaching out. They're getting their players to reach out to D.D. Westbrook, another receiver, to come with him. I mean, and they were, 50, 60 mil. I think honestly maybe 80 mil over the cap. And they still have money to sign people. And had a great draft, too. That's how you stay great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like when you have a window, with what you have in the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes or what the Ravens have with Lamar Jackson, you have to maximize your opportunities at all times. It's kind of like on a year-to-year basis. Like, okay, now is not the time to rebuild, develop, grow, things like that. It's time to actually go out and make moves that are going to win us a championship the next season because it's very possible we're already right there, And I think, like I said, that is the difference between, teams like the Ravens and teams like the Chiefs. Sometimes the Chiefs, they just make those moves, that extra push, just like the Buccaneers did too. They followed the same formula, Yeah,
man. I know it was crazy. We brought the same exact time, but I was thinking, getting Gronk out of retirement, signing an AB midway through the year. Oh, you guys cut Fournette. We'll take him. Now he's known as Lombardi Lenny. So it's It's little stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't be against maybe getting somebody cheaper and then because there could be more cuts down the road. I mean, we saw Leonard Fournette got cut. Oh, what was that? September of last year, like right before the season started.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll even happen this week, next week. I don't know. Maybe they need to sign all their rookies to their deals now, and they'll see after that.
All right, let's see. Our guy Adit Mahmood brings up a point here. He says the Ravens should have around $8 million left after the rookie contracts. I would say that we should have $2 million for a rainy day, and that should leave us with $6 million to spend. I think this is a pretty. I like this analysis here by Adit Mahmood. Big shout out to Adit, always coming through, always supporting the streams. Big shout out to him. But around $6 million to spend, that does sound about right. And if we can get somebody down to who can we realistically get for $6 million? Because I think that Justin Houston's probably asking for well more than that, at least 8.
I'd say Kerrigan or Vernon. Vernon's coming off a serious injury. A 1-year prove-it deal.
Incentive based. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I just think that a veteran presence, I'm not just going to say veteran presence because we have like Pernell McPhee, but somebody who's going to actually give us production. You know what I mean? We have athleticism everywhere on defense now. Patrick Queen, Odafe Owe, Justin Matabia. I mean, we have a lot of athleticism all over the field, but we are just missing that one closer. All we need is that closer.
I can hear pressure all day, but I need to see more sacks. And because those sacks can change the game.
Right. Yeah, pressure and sacks is the difference between, a play starts at let's say 2nd and 5, and the quarterback scrambles back and he's 5 yards in the backfield. If you get that sack, all of a sudden now it's 3rd and long. But if you let him throw it away because you just got pressure or he gets rid of it, then hey, look, it's 3rd and 5 and they have a lot more options. So, like you said, it's a huge difference maker.
And I think of the Bills game last year, it was Judon and Ngakoue on a half sack, both of them. Josh Allen fumbled the ball.
Right.
If we get more sacks, more fumbles. I can't really think of times that the quarterback fumbled because we got along the edge. I mean, only fumbles I think of is Marlon Humphrey punching it out. I don't think of us getting to the quarterback like Terrell Suggs would always do. Strip sack.
Right, yeah.
I can't even remember. So we definitely need somebody that can definitely finish it or let one of our other guys, because I don't want to see any more corner blitzes with Marlon Humphrey, and we've talked about this.
No. me and Alex definitely, we are not fans of letting our star corner rush the quarterback. That's
$100 million corner. No, thank you.
$100 million corner rushing the quarterback. That's not what we need. I don't know. Let's see. Jason Ridley says we still got to develop Dalen Hayes, Jason Owe, and I even think we need to develop Jalen Ferguson because he is still a young guy. Jalen Ferguson, he's kind of, a lot of people have been talking about him lately. Like, edge rusher's been, it's the number one need now for the Ravens. Like, undisputed, It is what it is. It's the number one need. And Jalen Ferguson, this name's been brought up a lot lately because it's like, okay, we drafted this guy a couple years ago, really hasn't given us a good return on investment. So what is kind of the deal with him? What's the direction that we go with Jalen Ferguson? What do you think about him right now?
Maybe with the preseason, try to play him with the hand in the dirt. See if he gets production there. I mean, that's what the preseason's for. Last year he had a sack. I think he had a sack against Washington. Yeah. I think that might have been his only sack of the year. Didn't really see anything else, but just try to get the most out of him in preseason. And maybe we can unlock something there. That's all I can really think of. I don't want to see us go let a 3rd-round pick when it's 3rd year just go to waste because I can't wait to see in like 3 years, like, the Ravens picked Jalen Ferguson over this, and this.
Yeah.
So I say just why not try something new in the preseason?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think, like we always say on this podcast, man, the preseason is going to work wonders for this team. Just considering how draft heavy the Ravens are just naturally as a franchise. The preseason is everything because you want to see all those young guys in action, see who can step up to the plate, see who can be a day one starter, and so on and so forth. So, I definitely agree with you there. Preseason is going to be huge for guys like Jalen Ferguson, even all of our other rookies too. And minicamp is coming up too as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And even undrafted free agents. I think maybe we'll see some guys from last year that we stashed in the practice squad. We'll see what they can do too. I know Antoine Wesley. Look forward to see him. receiver.
Right.
But I mean, just preseason as a whole, it can really help us out, and just we can try new things because we weren't able to do that last year. We went right into game one, and we just kind of play how we played in 2019.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Our guy Click One chimes in here, says, literally, look at why Mahomes tore us apart last year. I know he's the best quarterback, but we still had zero, and I mean zero pressure on him. His wife could have gone into labor, and he couldn't deliver his kid. He couldn't deliver his kid. Yeah.
It's gonna be like that this year too.
He had a lot of time. He had a ton of time. I mean, and it's not even necessarily, even when he didn't have time, it was just like they knew exactly how to handle the blitz, man. I mean, you see Patrick Mahomes take a snap and just jog backwards and just kind of throw the ball over top of everybody else.
To guess who? Sammy Watkins.
Exactly. I know, right? He's a special talent, Mahomes is. So, I mean, with him, it's like you have to get as much pressure as possible with the least amount of people rushing the quarterback. You know,
yeah.
And the Bucs, they showed that formula in the Super Bowl. So,
I mean, and then with their shaky line, now look at it. They have a completely revamped line. And I'll keep saying it. You let the best team in the league get the top-rated free agent in Joe Thuney. How the hell did you let that happen? And they were about to sign Trent Williams. They don't care. They play the game with the cap off. They went into Madden, turned the sliders off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. talking about edge rushers some more, guys. Probably say my list of edge rushers / free agents I would like to see Ravens sign is Justin Houston, Olivia Vernon, Ingram, and Ryan Kerrigan in that order. But you say, Alex, that realistically Olivia Vernon or Ryan Kerrigan
in our price range.
Yeah.
Unless we restructure. Range. I mean, I think I would love Houston, but the money he's asking for.
Yeah. Let's see. Jason Ridley chimes in here, says, anybody think Malik Harrison can play some DN and rush the passer? I feel like he can at 6'3", 240. Just saying.
I know I saw Shaquem Griffin. No. Shaquem or Shaquille, the linebacker, he's a free agent, and he wants to be used as like an edge rusher. Somebody mentioned the Ravens can be interested in him. I'm not too sure, but maybe we can see Malik Harrison more in a blitz this year because I think he'll be getting a lot more playing time. A lot.
Yeah. Definitely excited to see what, other guys on the defense can do as well. I think that, of course, that edge rusher is a big need for us as well. And that's why we're saying that bringing in like a Justin Houston or another free agent edge rusher would be beneficial for the team. But also there's another position on the defensive side of the football that we should probably look into as well. I mean, safety, do we still need to continue to look into that? Are we rocking out with Brandon Stevens and
I'd rock out with Stevens, Washington, Geno Stone. Let them battle for the last safety position. I'd be cool with that.
Got you. Okay. So overall, just our general consensus here, guys, is that the Ravens have $11 million cap space left.
Yeah.
The Ravens also have a window. They have a window of time that they can use to win the Super Bowl. Before they have to pay Lamar Jackson a lot of money. Exactly. 2 years before they have to pay Lamar a lot of money, and then they're not going to be able to get all the pieces around him paid. So with that being said, in this time, like our guy King says, go dig in those pockets. You got to dig in your pockets, man. You got to reach down, deep down sometimes, and you just got to take out that money that you need in order to fill those last couple of voids in your team and your roster.
And if you would have asked me if I could have had any single free agent from this past free agent window, it would be Shaq Barrett. He was rushing the quarterback. He would get pressure. He would get the sacks. We saw it in the Super Bowl. We saw it the whole damn year. He led the league in sacks 2 years ago. Well, a year ago, actually, not this season before. Like, I think, for me, I would have taken a number one edge rusher for number one receiver. Just the way that this draft went, it would have been perfect. But instead, we didn't. I mean, can't really turn back time. But we have to hit on a damn edge sooner or later because we haven't been able to replace Terrell Suggs since he left.
Yeah.
Or
right,
Darius,
absolutely right, man. Yeah. Jose Castillo says, if we improve Dalen Hayes and Odafe Owe, I think we have dangerous edge rushers there. Yeah, guys, the potential is there. The potential is really there. And you never know. Like, It's a 17-game season. It's a longer season. We have our preseason back now. We could see immediate impact from guys like Odafe Owe, and maybe Dalen Hayes, because he'll probably be a little bit more of a rotational player in his rookie campaign. But I think we could probably see some good things out of them. Think about it, guys, and this is what nobody's talking about. We probably bring it up like once an episode on here, though. That's why you're going to make sure you want to like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. But let's not forget about the Monstars, guys. We're all talking about our pass rush, but let's talk about how much the Monstars helps out our pass rush. When we have Brandon Williams, when we have Calais Campbell, when we have Derek Wolfe all healthy, those guys are taking up a lot of bodies on that offensive line. They're taking up a lot of bodies.
And Calais Campbell swatting balls. I mean,
exactly.
The game against the Eagles, he took that over. He had, 3 sacks, like 2 or 3 deflected passes.
Yeah.
But I love what King says. Boy, we are banking hard on potential, and I can't agree with him more. This right here, we're in win now mode, and we're talking about potential. Are we the Bengals?
Ooh.
Are we the Jets? Why are we banking so hard on potential? We shouldn't be. We are in win now. Like, if we are about winning the damn Super Bowl, I don't care about potential. That should be our backups, not our starters.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it kind of feels like the Ravens are taking baby steps sometimes instead of just like going all out and taking those big leaps, in terms of like getting things that we need. But listen, guys, we never know. We're still very early into this. There's still months before. May. Exactly.
We might just be overreacting at this point.
Exactly. There's still months of football months of time before football comes back on. So we just have a lot of time. The Ravens might actually go out and sign one of these free agent edge rushers. Maybe it is a Justin Houston. Maybe it is an Olivia Vernon, Kerrigan, Melvin Ingram, one of those guys. We'll see. We will see. But we'll leave it there for now. After a couple more comments, let's see.
Okay.
TTB Ravens Media says, personally, I don't think Dalen Hayes will be used as an edge rusher as most people think. I think he'll play more similarly to Tyus Bowser and drop into coverage more than he does line up on the edge. Yeah, when I saw his tape from college, he was actually pretty good in like dropping back in pass protection and actually getting out on those flat routes and things like that. I mean, he was pretty good at that. So what do you think about that?
If you really want to watch it, watch the video Coach put up last week. Set the tally films. Last Friday, he live streamed it. He did about 15 different plays. He showed him dropping the coverage, rushing the quarterback, and stopping the run. I highly recommend it. I believe somebody was like he plays like a younger, more athletic Judon too, because he can hop in the coverage. I don't expect him getting a lot of sacks, but he definitely can also spy too, which I'm really excited for. So, don't expect him to get 10 sacks this season. It's not going to happen, but definitely a weapon we can have.
Yeah. Let's see. Jason Ridley says, I think at times our defense needs to focus on getting their hands up and deflecting passes because you can't always get home.
And that's what Calais does.
That's what Calais does. Yeah. Yeah. It is. All right. So let's see what else we have from you guys in here. Our guy G Money in the house, Joe Lawson, says exactly, and we forget COVID-19 had an impact on the Ravens preseason. Man, nobody's really talking about that either, Alex. Like the fact that like this year is not going to be a COVID year in terms of just how different everything is. Our rookies are going to have a lot better chance, a lot better opportunity to shine in their first year out, and then our second year players like our Patrick Queens, our J.K. Dobbins, they're going to be really be coming into their own this season. So, good point there, Joe.
I think Madubuike is going to be starting by week 8.
Yeah, Madubuike. By week what?
Week 8. Or mid-season, whenever after our bye. I don't know who he's going to take over from, but Brandon Williams barely plays as it is. I love Big Baby as much as the next person. But if Madubuike can start getting to the quarterback and maybe pushing the center or the guards into the quarterback, you can see him get a lot more play time.
Yeah. Madubuike, he's probably like top 3 most exciting players on the Ravens, like in terms of like
see, if you're a true Ravens fan,
if you're a true Ravens fan,
if
you're a true Ravens fan, top 3 most exciting players going into this season, like in terms of like, what can this guy do? Madubuike, I feel like he has high potential, very high potential, just like J.K. Dobbins. He'd be another one. So, all right. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. But Gerald also has a question for you, Alex. He says, simply AS10, how many caps do you have, my brother?
I have a good amount. I just got this one this past week, the A's. I'm actually getting some patches and putting it on. I don't have enough, Gerald. I don't have enough. Leave it at that. But I got an Orioles one, though, so that's the one that's important.
Right. All right, so moving on here, moving right along. I think that we can go ahead. I see my guy Anonymous in here. He says, let's talk about Tebow next.
Oh, okay.
Should we talk about Tebow? You want to talk about Tebow a little bit?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so you kind of broke the news to me earlier.
Yeah.
You text me, you were like, yeah, we can talk Tebow tonight. I'm like, wait, what? Tim talk who? So I had to get on Twitter, see what was going on, and apparently Tim Tebow's back in the NFL now. But how did you figure it out? Like, what happened? What's going on with Tim Tebow? Man?
I got the update on my phone that he signed, and I was like, okay, cool. I had strong feelings for it. Like, I don't think he deserves to play in the damn NFL. I'm sorry. My thing is, you're 33 years old. If you really wanted to play, you would have switched positions whenever you were. Look at Terrell Pryor. He did it, went to a 1,000-yard receiver. You went to go play baseball, went to be analysis. Guess that didn't work out. And you went to Daddy Urban and said, Daddy, can I please get another shot in the NFL? And he said, sure. And they traded Josh Oliver. They traded a tight end. I guess they have more trust in Tebow than in Josh Oliver.
But what do you really think this is all about, though? It's like,
get
the guy's
fans
coming
in the stadium. That's the only reason. Think about it. Dude played with the Gators, is like a legend there. But you know who also should be a legend in Florida? Trey Burton. Think about it. That man is part of one of the most iconic plays in NFL history from Florida. He's a tight end. If you want one so bad, why don't you sign him?
Right.
But it's just to think about it. They love him down there. They're gonna want to just fill seats up. It's Jackson. Yeah. It's just the whole con. That owner is terrible. We talk about bad owners. That's a terrible owner right there. And they're down bad. Their soccer team just got relegated. They need something. So.
Yeah, man. I definitely agree. Like, he's going to be down in a place where they love him down in Florida. And the biggest thing is he's reuniting with Urban Meyer. And this is for me, I think this is why the NFL is so great. Because just the storyline that comes out because of this, the storylines that are created because of Tim Tebow simply being back in the league. Now we're looking at Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we're expecting things from them. We're actually going to be watching their games. I guarantee you, well, I know Simply AS10 is going to be watching every single game week one, but all of you guys are probably going to tune into a game with Trevor Lawrence starting alongside Tim Tebow, including myself. Hey. It's Urban Meyer's guy. I think he could. I really do. The thing about Tim Tebow, Alex, is that he's yes, he was a quarterback at Florida, played for the Broncos as well, but he's a football player at heart, and I think Urban Meyer really sees that. I think he is.
If he was, he would have switched positions a while back. And that's my thing.
Things happen.
I hate bringing it up because I'm such a big fan of him. But if you really love the game. Johnny Manziel played in four different football leagues. Granted, he put it on himself, but the dude wanted to play. Tebow, on the other hand, did he really want to play? Really?
Hey, man, but things can happen. Things can happen in life. Maybe he fell out of love with football and he wanted to go out and do other things in life, and now he's coming back around at 32, 33, however old he is now, and he wants to give it another shot. Now, do I think that he will probably get? Oh man, I think it would be more of a decoy than anything. Jeez, because Tim Tebow, he's gonna get killed.
Wait, real quick, he was used as a decoy.
Yeah,
I posted a video of it. His ass didn't turn around. The ball hit him in the damn helmet. And that was him younger. Those instincts, I hope they came, but do you think so?
Man, it's just tough to say, man. It's tough to say because
they don't protect tight ends like they protect quarterbacks. I hope he knows that.
You're right. Which is why I think that he will probably have a short stint in the NFL.
Yeah.
I just think that, like you said, it's a ploy to get butts and seats in that stadium and to sell tickets. You know, that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
I guess
Let's see.
the polls in the stadiums didn't work for Jacksonville, so
Right.
it's not the
Right.
best thing.
Our guy Hemo4 says he would like to say that Tim Tebow shouldn't even make the roster. This is just going to be fun news, a few headlines, and it'll be over by August.
Yeah, that honestly.
Yeah. King says Urban Meyer could lose the locker room doing this, and that's interesting too, right?
He could. He honestly could. I mean, he might have lost James Robinson already, the one bright light from last year, by doing that dumb stuff, drafting a running back. I get that you want a good 1-2, but you could have gotten a running back in the second round. Don't you want to help protect your damn investment? I mean, Tevin Jenkins was there at 23.
Right.
You could help him out.
Yeah, Urban Meyer. I mean, I think that this puts a lot more pressure on Urban Meyer, like more than anybody else, because like it's like, hey man, you're coming in and you're about to be the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got your guy in Trevor Lawrence, you know. And you're getting another guy that you used to be with in Tim Tebow, you know. So it's like you're getting all this attention and press, and of course we're not expecting like a division winning season from the Jacksonville Jaguars or anything like that. But there are going to be people watching nonetheless. Like I just said, we're all going to be paying attention to that no matter what, simply because of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you can take Urban Meyer, you can take Tim Tebow out of it. We're going to be watching primarily for Trevor Lawrence, but all that other stuff is just kind of coming along with it. But like we said, it is a good way for revenue and fans and things like that. So, but in the meantime, we do have another super chat donation coming in from our guy, Darius, the official. Thank you so much, man, for donating to the channel and always supporting us, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
He says, honestly, I don't like the Tebow. Like, he had one good run in the NFL, then he leaves, then plays baseball and comes back as a tight end. It's a joke. Yeah.
It is.
Seems like that.
Sometimes you just got to, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I mean, do you think Andrew Luck wanted to retire? Just caught up to him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's see. Andre Mir says, Purple Rain Gang. Shout out to you, bro. Make sure you guys like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here, because there's a lot of Ravens content coming your way over the next couple months. We got you guys locked in right here on the Purple Rain podcast channel. Moving along here with whatever you guys have to say about Tim Tebow. Yeah. Let's see.
Definitely it just shows like there's never a dull moment in the NFL. Like
Anonymous says here, I really would love to see the Jags use Tim Tebow the same way the Saints use Taysom Hill.
Could be.
Put him in there as like a gadget guy.
Taysom has like some reflexes. He knows when the ball's being thrown to him.
Do you think the Jags? What are the Jags really trying to accomplish here? Like, let's think about this, Alex. Like,
okay,
they got Trevor Lawrence. He is a quarterback who can, he can make all the throws. He can make plays with his legs as well.
Yeah.
So he's kind of dynamic. They're bringing in a college-minded head coach. They're putting those two things together. Yeah. And then they're bringing in Tim Tebow. Do you think that they're kind of trying to, I guess, like reinvent the wheel a little bit here, like teams kind of do every couple of years with like a new scheme or like a new type of system to try to implement in the NFL? What do you think is going to happen here? Like,
we're talking about Jacksonville. That's your answer. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I honestly don't know. Like, their goal for this year, don't finish last place in the AFC South. If you somehow finish below the Texans, liquidate. Pick up the franchise, move it to St. Louis, because they deserve a sports team now. They lost theirs, because there's no reason why you should not finish at least in third place when you have the Texans in that same division, honestly. Yeah. So I don't know what they're trying to do. My bold prediction, Urban Meyer is probably going to be a one and done, honestly.
One and done?
Yeah. Keeps on making moves like this. Where we see Vince Young next, Jamarcus Russell. I don't know, man.
Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says after he flames out again in a couple months and gets released, Tebow's going to switch to boxing and get a pay-per-view fight versus one of the Paul brothers.
I want a
That'd be
pay-per-view fight
hilarious.
against the Jaguars owner, Tony Khan, or his son. That's what I want.
Man. All right, yeah. So moving on from that, Tim Tebow will, of course, we'll continue to follow that if there's any more news. Anonymous says schedule release on Wednesday. Schedule release
Thursday.
is on
Come on,
Wednesday.
you know Thursday is all we're talking about.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All we're talking
Thursday,
about.
we're definitely gonna be on that heavy. In the meantime, we have another super chat donation coming in from our guy Gerald. As my guy Simply AS10 walks off the set. Gerald, my guy. Thank you.
Listen, Gerald.
Listen, man.
Do we have to put you on a little timestamp, like a timeout? Is that what we have to do?
Is that? I don't know.
Gerald.
Gerald from
G-Money.
deep, man. From the logo.
He's not even in the court right now.
He's not even in the gym, bro.
He's in the fucking nosebleeds.
Wow, man. Appreciate you so much, Gerald. We appreciate you for joining the stream, always donating. Man, you already know, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. He says, Sudden Death and Simply AS10, which receivers besides Hollywood Brown will be starting this season? Hashtag keep it real.
Real quick, can we send G Money a Purple Rain shirt? I think.
Oh, yes, we definitely will.
Yeah. I think we'll have to get him to DM the address because let's get him. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get you in some Purple Rain gear for sure.
Oh, man.
But yeah, going to his question though, which receivers besides Hollywood Brown will be starting this season? Hashtag keep it real.
Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, sounds
with
about
those
right.
three receivers, I'm actually very excited. There's so much potential between those three.
Yeah. Who do you think would probably lead the team in target percentage?
Marquise Brown.
Marquise.
Yeah.
So you think it would go that way even if Rashad Bateman starts to get featured? Maybe if they feature Rashad Bateman early in the season in the offense, and he starts to get going with Lamar, and Lamar starts to kind of take to him as his first read, I think that's a possibility as well because Rashad Bateman, he's shown the kind of the ability to kind of be that number one, that alpha type receiver that can, kind of take over a game. The biggest game of his life, he had 6 catches for like 146 yards back in college and a touchdown back in college. So, I think he definitely has what it takes to be that takeover guy and a guy that over week spans, like he'll be that guy that people start talking about in fantasy football. Like, hey, go ahead, pick up Rashad Bateman, put him in your lineup because he's getting more production from Lamar Jackson. But
I feel like people are actually sleeping on Sammy Watkins because you have not heard from him since.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, if he can go to a number 3 and he's not on the field as much, that might bode well for not only us but him. Because we can stay healthy the whole year. Like we can start swapping him in now. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he was a number 3.
Ooh, Sammy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it would just keep him fresh for later down the road.
Yeah, you're right. Jeff J says Sammy's experience trumps all. That's true. But we do have another super chat donation coming in from Shamil Malik. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for donating to the channel. We appreciate you so much.
As to everybody.
As to everyone. He says, who's the odd man out the receiver room this season? I got an order on the depth. Hollywood, Bateman, Sammy, Devin Duvernay, Tylan Wallace, and then somehow Boykin. Big yikes.
So Bateman and Sammy can flip-flop. I think anytime they can flip-flop. And Bateman can eventually be our number 1. I don't think Sammy will ever get past the number 2 unless he breaks out. But it's between Boykin and Prochet.
Yeah,
easily.
That's honestly how it's looking. But that's the thing, though. Can you really say Boykin? Do we hate on Boykin too much? It's like, in terms of production, how many touchdowns did Boykin score last season?
He scored like 4 or 5 in the final stretch of games. Had one against the Steelers. I mean, I think because we expect him to be like an AJ Green, a big body.
Great.
Bro doesn't use his body.
Yeah.
He's the best blocking receiver on this team.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And he plays special teams. I think he'll make it over Prochet for those reasons. He can block and he can play special teams.
Hmm. So, I mean, I guess that kind of answers the question right there. The odd man out maybe could be, James Prochet, which we wouldn't want to see because we never really got to see James Prochet's full potential in this Ravens offense. But, that's how it works sometimes. So we'll see. We'll continue to monitor that, see how that goes. But another receiver a lot of people aren't talking about. I know everybody's in love with Rashad Bateman, but Tylan Wallace, listen, man. Tylan Wallace could easily be one of those guys who steps into this offense as a rotational receiver, makes a couple plays, and the next thing you know, boom, he's part of the starting lineup. It's possible. It's possible. It's very possible.
It wouldn't surprise me. Hopefully, Greg Roman stops messing about and starts drawing some better plays up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really gotta take a look at like what the Ravens have told us so far this offseason. Like, they went out and they did the two things that you need to improve a passing game. They went and solidified the offensive line, and they got weapons in the receiving game. Like, they did those two things. So they're obviously telling us that, hey, we want to pass the ball. We want to pass the football. And last season, actually, no, scratch that. Over the past two seasons, with neutral scores, so basically score 0-0, the Ravens ran the football 45% of the time, which is really low. The hope is this season with, new additions to the coaching staff and passing game coordinators, wide receivers coaches, wide receivers, and offensive line help, that we can kind of increase that number and just get more volume. So all of these guys that you see, Hollywood Brown, Bateman, Sammy Watkins, Devin Duvernay, Tylan Wallace, all those guys can get some production. All those guys can get some volume, and we can see potential unfold out of those guys as well. So
okay, so I looked up Miles Boykin's stats. He had 13 catches his first year, 3 touchdowns. Last year, 19 catches, 4 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns on 32 career receptions. That's 21% of the time.
Yeah.
So
it's almost a quarter of the time.
But the thing is that we're expecting him to have more catches because he was our number 2 receiver.
Right.
Both years. Who was above him in the depth chart? You're trying to tell me 13 and 19 catches, respectively? That's not going to work out. The touchdowns I'm cool with, but
yeah, it's just we haven't really seen that the tenacity out of like Miles Boykin that we would also like to see from like a big body type receiver, somebody like with his frame, somebody who can, with his physical ability, like you would want to see him kind of break out in a different way, but he just kind of takes like a backseat role on the offense and just kind of shows up, scores a touchdown here and there. But he is one of the best blocking wide receivers in the game. We do give him that for sure.
Real quick, Devon Johnson asked his targets. 2019, he had 22 targets, 13 catches on 22 targets, and last year, 33 targets on 19 catches. That could be, I think, maybe some more targets, but just now it's going to be even slimmer. So when the ball is thrown your way, you better catch it, if it is catchable.
Yeah. Our guy Hodog says, you guys just made my point from a half hour ago. Flush with wide receivers, trade one of them, and create more cap space for Justin Houston. What do you think about that?
It's either Prochet or Boykin. Honestly.
Yeah.
And what could we get for him? A 7th round pick. He was a 6th round pick.
Right. So let's see. All right. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, Giro has 4 weeks, and if we fail to advance any further in the playoffs this season, Harb's click officially starts. In my opinion, it's already started.
Man. We've talked about it. I think we both agree 4 weeks.
Right, 4 weeks. I think definitely going to be a short leash. That's the biggest thing for sure. Meanwhile, we have another super chat donation coming in from Asmodeus.
And I'm walking off again.
Wow.
I'll be right back.
Asmodeus, another one from deep.
Bro.
Oh, Asmodeus, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Asmodeus.
We appreciate you. Let's talk, man.
Do we have to just put that on hold? These super chats? Is that what we have to do? As King said, is it payday? Because that Stimmy indeed hit. Jeez, man.
Wow. Thank you so much, man. More McChickens. More McChickens.
I don't know how to say thank you enough. Is there any way I can show it for both Gerald and Asmodeus? Honestly,
Yeah, right, man. That's wow. You guys are amazing. Big shout out to the Rain Gang. We appreciate you guys. Big shout out to you, Asmodeus. Thank you so much. Says, call me crazy, but Miles Boykin could break out. We give Boykin a hard time, but think about it. We have T. Martin and Keith Williams. Maybe with legit coaching, Boykin becomes the big-bodied receiver we all thought he could be. Enjoy your Mickey D's buffet. Thank you so much, Asmodeus.
Let's be honest. He's worked with Devontae Adams, Keith Williams.
Yeah.
If he can somehow take what he taught to Devontae or what Devontae has taught him and just give a little bit of that, I'm not asking for a little bit to Miles Boykin. Come on now.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree there, man. If Miles Boykin can benefit from Keith Williams and T. Martin coming into the fold with the Ravens, and he takes strides forward and becomes that guy that we all think that he can be, oh, it would be open season for the Ravens. Like you wouldn't be able to stop us. You wouldn't be able to stop us because we at that point we'd have literally a receiver of every archetype who can make plays. It would be unstoppable.
Can I just tell you how confident I am for this Ravens receiving core?
That's exciting, yeah.
This is our best receiving core since 2012, our Super Bowl year, by far. Not even close.
I agree.
I thought maybe Macklin, Wallace, Perryman was. I was hyped for Jeremy Macklin. Yeah. I really was. But Sammy Watkins is no Jeremy Macklin. Sammy Watkins has performed on the biggest stage of them all. Burnt Richard Sherman. Absolutely burnt him on a 2nd and 7. They're down by 3 points. Takes them right into the red zone in the Super Bowl. We actually get some good receiving coaches and people who can scout receivers. And what do? We draft Rashad Bateman. Oh, and Tylan Wallace. And then we have Marquise Brown, who was breaking out at the end of last season. Come on now.
Right. Like we said, guys, listen, the Ravens have told us what they want to do this upcoming season. They have told us without actually coming right out and telling us. They have told us. They went out, they got offensive line help. They went out, they got receiver help. They went out, they got receiver coaching help. They got passing game coordination help. They got help everywhere to help out the passing game. So I think, and Greg Roman said it himself, there's going to be things that a lot of teams haven't seen before from the Ravens. And, you know, I definitely, of course, we take everything Greg Roman says with a grain of salt, but I definitely believe that.
I see 2014. That's a good one. Steve Smith, Torrey Smith, Kamar Aiken.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And then Owen Daniels was good, too, because he followed Kubiak around.
Yeah.
That was a good one, too. I mean, because that was our best, I think, offense ever in franchise history before we got Lamar.
Right.
That was a really fun offense.
We have another Super Chat donation coming in from Shamil Malik. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Says Jeremy Macklin was hyped for them crab cakes.
I was hyped for him, too. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Like, I would have been so embarrassed. I thought he was the answer to our other problems.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. also chimes in and says, I think Keith Williams and T. Martin can help him improve his technique, but I think you either have the mentality to play big or you don't. That's the biggest problem I see Boykin has. Fabulous point there, too. Yeah.
Steve Smith played big.
Right. And you can see it like when Miles Boykin either doesn't go up for jump balls or when he doesn't try to, you know, or like that one interception that he had in the playoffs with the Titans where the ball was just kind of up in the air and didn't really try to make like any type of play on it, you know. So didn't try to use his body, use his physical frame to his advantage. But let's see, moving on from that. Can
you pull up Hodog's comment, please? Because I think this is a really good conversation. Boykin is the equivalent to this point of N'Keal Harry in New England. Which is the better big-body receiver? I'm going Miles Boykin. He was a third-round pick.
Boykin.
And N'Keal Harry was a first-round pick. So as much as we like to bash Boykin, it could have been worse.
Right.
It really could have. I mean, they took N'Keal Harry over DK Metcalf, and you could say we took Hollywood Brown, but at least Hollywood Brown has performed when it matters and performs. Right. So, yeah, I'm going – Boykin's a little bit ahead of N'Keal Harry, for sure.
Yeah, definitely agree there. Let's see. Tyler says, take that hat off and put that O's hat on.
See, the O's hat isn't fitted. So I have to get a fitted O's hat. But I just got this one, Tyler. Come on now. Come on.
All right, and then our guy Click One says, "I'm so hyped for this season. I think we'll be better than the Browns." I think that's a perfect segue into our next segment
Yes.
of the night.
Yes.
We're actually
Yes.
going to talk about the AFC North. We're going to talk about the AFC North a little bit because it's definitely heating up, and the debate I've seen a lot. I'm sure Alex has seen it as well. Who's going to be the king of the AFC North? Is there
Yeah.
a clear-cut king of the
Mm.
North? Favorites, like any of that, like all of that stuff. Is there a clear-cut favorite to win the AFC North this season? A lot of people will say, hey, it's the Ravens. Hey, it's the Browns. Hey, the Steelers were 11-0 up to a certain point last season. They still got some juice. Alex, what do you think? Who's the clear front runner, if any, right now for the AFC North?
Give it to the Browns. Go ahead. Let them have it. Last time they gave it to them, we went 14-2, won the whole thing, ran away with it. But if we're just going to talk about the offseason, obviously the Browns. They always win the offseason. They always can win it. They always can win it.
Yeah.
But I feel like what they've done, they've addressed their needs. They went out and upgraded their secondary. They're the same way how we're trying to address our needs, like on offense, getting the line, the receivers. They've done that on defense to try to stop the Ravens. Because in two games last year, we put up 38 in the first game and 47 in the second game. Forgot about the safety at the end. So, in 2 games, giving up that type of points, come on now. But I got to go with the Browns. I mean, just taking my heart out of it. Will they do it? It's up to the coaching. Will Stefanski be a great Browns coach? We'll have to see. But if they keep Chubb and Hunt, who I still believe Hunt should be in the NFL, but if they keep them rolling, I think it's theirs to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you almost there. I still would say the Ravens are
That's fair.
that team to beat in the AFC North, man. Just because of I know the Browns they're coming on very strong. We had a very tough game against them last season, like we just talked about, but the Ravens they've only gotten better compared to what they had last season. The Ravens went through a lot last season as well with COVID and everything like that. So I think the Ravens are definitely the strongest team in the AFC North in terms of like who's the more dangerous team. The Ravens. Who has the more complete roster? On paper, it's the Browns, yes, but
Can't teach chemistry either.
Can't teach chemistry, and when it comes to coaching and everything like that, I think the Ravens are better.
And when Odell is there, they're not the same Browns. Let's just be honest.
This is true. Yeah.
I mean, I'm an Odell fan. He's one of the most exciting receivers I think I've ever watched. But when he's playing for the Browns, they are not good. When they have Jarvis, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashard Higgins, and then Chubb and Hunt, they are a lot better team, which is why they went to the playoffs last year and won a game.
Yeah.
So I think if Odell stays healthy, I mean, they could be their own worst enemy, which I'm not complaining.
But see, I disagree with you there, Alex, because I think that a lot of like Odell Beckham holding them back had to do with Baker not being matured enough as a quarterback yet. And I think
so?
later on, yeah, I think so. I think like later on in that season, Baker showed a lot more maturity. And I was just watching the divisional matchup between them and the Chiefs actually right before we went live. And Baker, he showed a lot of poise. He showed a lot of poise in that game, despite them losing, of course, even though it was close. He showed a lot of poise in a lot of different like high pressure situations, and that's something that we didn't see from him. He was very fidgety, a lot of like very jittery at times, playing with Odell Beckham. But I think he's kind of settled down into his role as the Cleveland Browns quarterback. And I think even with Odell coming back next season, I think he'll probably settle down even more and just kind of take what the defense gives him, because that's what he was doing in that Chiefs game, man. And Baker has showed me a lot, in the past like 12 months, and I think he's going to be really good, man. I think he's going to be really good.
How good we talking? Like top what? Top what quarterback?
It's hard to say top. I mean, I think he could be like upper top 10. I think he could. I think it's totally possible, depending on if they can keep a good balance between that running game and that passing game, stay dangerous enough. Odell can stay healthy. Him and Baker can finally mesh well along with Jarvis Landry. Higgins is another good option
That's
for
the thing.
them.
Without Jarvis, that offense does not flow. Like Jarvis is like the most underrated piece of that offense. Since he's went there, like their offense has turned around, and that's who I'm scared of on that offense the most, honestly. Jarvis and Chubb, and then you have Hunt in the pass game out the backfield, which is scary. But man,
Yeah.
It depends what their offense can do because we just hear about there's film and everything, so we'll see how they are. I think Stefanski did a great job last year, but you got to follow that up now. What can you do?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's see. So that's the Browns. They're kind of like the clear cut contenders, like number one contenders, I think, to be kings of the AFC North. And then of course, I think the Ravens probably are the favorites, and then the Steelers as well. What's kind of the general consensus on the Steelers, because their draft wasn't really anything to wow anybody. They drafted a running back in the first round. Anytime a team does that, it's kind of like, okay, you kind of whiffed a bit. What do you think about the Steelers going into this season? Are they clear-cut contenders to be kings of the AFC North?
I'll say yeah. As long as Mike Tomlin is the coach, 100%. They went out there. They got Ben a security blanket, a tight end who can catch the ball, unlike Eric Ebron and Pat Freiermuth. Go and get them a running back who actually can stay healthy, can actually has a second burst, can get through holes. And then they helped their line. I mean, and they got also edge rusher. I mean, they have a great defense. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I know they lost Bud Dupree, but they still have a great defense. And they were just trying to plug up holes in the offense. I think they are going to challenge for a playoff spot, 100%. I would never count the Steelers out as long as Tomlin is their coach.
But see, that's so interesting, man. Because we're talking about at this point, you're saying that the Steelers, they'll probably get a playoff spot, right?
Yep.
The Browns, they'll definitely probably get a playoff spot, right? The Ravens, they'll probably get a playoff spot, right?
Yep.
So that's 3 teams in the AFC North that are probably going to be contending for a playoff spot. Now let's take a look at the Bengals. What do you think about them? I mean, taking a look at their draft, of course, they went out. They got Jamar Chase, to pair back up with Joe Burrow. They played together at LSU, obviously. And then they went ahead and they got a left tackle. They bolstered up the offensive line as well. So, what do you think about the Bengals, man? Because they're on the up and up too, right?
I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I hope everybody knows this. My thing is, I don't know why they took Chase at number 6. I get you want to, have weapons, but come on, man. You got to take Penei. I'm going to – you have to. Like, if you had the number 1 pick from last year towards ACL, and then you're not going to, first round, you're not going to help him out.
Right.
And that's my biggest issue with them. They can develop receivers. This was a stacked receiver draft. Amari Rodgers went round 3. De'Ami Brown went round 2, I believe 2 or 3. What was his name? From Clemson, I think Cornell. I can't think of his name now. He went round 5, and then you saw Wallace went 5. Their receivers they could have gotten if they really wanted to develop them. You got to protect your investment 100%. So I'm gonna go. They're probably gonna be rocking. Hopefully, they want to go more towards the 500, maybe 8 and 9, 7 and 10 for them. But I think they'll be bottom of the barrel. But this will be the year where we're like, okay, let's worry about the Bengals next year.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the super chat that we did get a couple minutes ago. I did not forget about it. I do see it. This one comes from Toilet Guy. It says, "What do your seedings look like for the postseason right now?" And he said, "Answer after division talk, please." You guys rock. Thank you so much for your super chat donation. We appreciate you. So seedings for the postseason right now, I guess AFC. What do you think? What are you thinking? At number 1, we'll go
Chiefs.
Chiefs at number 1. Bills 2.
Yep.
Bills 2, not the Ravens.
No. Nah. I think just as long as they have Diggs. I mean, come on now. Diggs is the top.
But don't you think that going into this season, Alex, with no COVID, it's going to be a normal year. Later on in the season is when the Ravens tend to play their best football. Because, those cold weather games where it's just kind of grind it out. We can kind of run, play our game. And this is a longer season, like I said before.
Yeah.
You don't think that we could probably pad some wins, get a really good seeding, maybe take over that spot that the Bills had, get that number 2 seed? You don't think that?
I don't want us to be like that. Because every time we have the hot hand, they're like, oh, let's worry about the Ravens. We shit the bed in the playoffs. Happened in 18 and 19. I'll just be honest. Um, I don't even want it. I don't want that. I'd rather be a 3 or 4, have a home game, then go on the road for the next 2 or 1.
So basically, you're saying you would rather get hot at the right time than be hot all season.
Like we did last year. We got hot at the right time last year, then beat the Titans, and then unfortunate stuff happening against the Bills. But think about it, we were on like a 3-game losing streak mid-season.
Yeah.
Then we lose, so we lost to the Steelers, and then we picked it up, beat the Cowboys, beat the Browns. That Browns game was the turning point of the season, and then we just won out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say get hot at the right time, and then be maybe. I mean, if we did win the division, cool, maybe a 3 or 4 seed. But yeah, I just don't want I don't want that bye ever. I never want a first round bye again after 2019.
So of course we got Chiefs 1 seed, Bills 2 seed, 3 seed.
Either the Browns or Ravens.
Man, I knew you were gonna bring up the Browns eventually. I'm going with the Ravens over the Browns.
Okay,
man.
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair
for sure.
I'll go Browns. Then 4. Who do you have winning the AFC South? Titans. I have the Colts. I'm gonna go Colts at 4.
Man, that's another tough one, man. That's another tough one. I just have to see Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he's a guy. He's another guy he's got to prove it to me. I mean, you can't lead the league in interceptions last season and then change teams and expect everything to be all hunky dory. Like it's just not. It's not how things work. So I got to see more from Carson Wentz. So I think Tennessee.
I'll go Titans too because I'll think about it. I saw, whenever they sign somebody, it's like the new offense of the Colts, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal. Is that better than Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman, and Sammy Watkins? Is it better? I don't think it so. Is. And then they have Jack Doyle and we have Mark Andrews. No. So that's a good point. Yeah, I'll go Titans 4. And then wild card. I'm gonna go Ravens 5, Steelers 6, Dolphins 7.
5. Dolphins still that last spot?
I think
not the Raiders, not the.
I was thinking the Raiders, but I feel like if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think Brian Flores next year will be on the hot seat because they were that close last year. I think they got to make it this year.
But Brian Flores is the reason why they got that close.
I know.
Brian Flores, he came in, he's done a wonderful job.
And think about what they did. They signed all these players, didn't work out. Calvin Noy got cut. Bobby McCain they released. I think this is a big year for the Dolphins, especially on Tua too. So I want to see
that's
them
That's the biggest factor. Like I think that if they have a bad season this year, I don't think that the pressure would be more so on Brian Flores, but it's more so just like, hey, maybe we whiffed on Tua Tagovailoa. I think that's probably going to be the question. Like I said before, man, give us until Thanksgiving. We will know whether or not Tua can play. So yeah, we'll see. But I think the Dolphins could probably steal that spot.
I think Dolphins, Raiders, Chargers maybe. That's the 3, but I think Dolphins out of those 3.
About the Jaguars though, you don't. Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, brother. Come on now.
Come on, man. Yeah, I'm just saying, bro.
They should be just pushing to win at least a couple of games this year, more than 1.
I'm just saying. Our guy Rush says, how about the Chargers?
Yeah. If I'm the Chargers, I'm hoping you're pushing 9-8. I think that's the goal of this year. Then next year you can start challenging for the playoffs. But if they get it this year, who says no?
Yeah, I think that, what pieces are the Chargers missing to not go further than they did last year? I think they went ahead and addressed that for sure. But they addressed offensive line in the draft, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they? I can't remember all of who they picked up.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah. Who did they get round 1? I want to say it was an offensive tackle.
Yep, Rashawn Slater.
Slater, yeah. Right.
And they got Asante Samuel Jr. Yeah. They could be.
They definitely could be. That's a good point, guys. The Chargers are going to be they're going to be a problem. Ravenous Quando, shout out to him. He says they're going to be a problem. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Mike Williams.
Absolutely.
Hunter Henry's gone. See, do the Patriots, are we underestimating the Patriots?
I don't know if we're underestimating them. I think it's just we're just all kind of just waiting and seeing what happens. Like with the Patriots, it's like, like last year they had Cam Newton. It's like, okay, let's wait and see what happens. Nothing really ever came up of it, And now Cam Newton's going to be on even shorter of a leash. He is signed to a 1-year deal with them, but
$14 million all guaranteed.
Oh yeah, so that means Belichick might not take him out. We might not see Mac Jones until
unless he gets hurt or something.
Yeah. That's the Patriots are just a wait and see team. They're not a huge threat. They're not going to contend for a championship this year or anything like that. But we just got to wait and see.
But Thursday we'll talk about the Ravens schedule. Be there. Don't miss it.
We will. Do not miss it. Right here on the Purple Rain Podcast channel. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to our channel as well. If you're new here, we would appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, clear-cut kings. That was the question, guys. Is there a clear-cut favorite to win the AFC North this season? Just kind of wrapping it all up and putting a nice little bow on top. I don't think that there's any clear-cut king. There's no clear-cut king of the North right now. The Browns look really, really good on paper. But a lot of people would still say the Ravens are the favorites. But you look at how the Browns season ended and how the Ravens season ended last season. They kind of ended on, if you ask me, a higher note. They went out with a little bit more dignity, a little bit more pride.
They had their quarterback honestly, game too.
Yeah, they were a fluke touchback away from really being in that game. I don't know if you remember, Alex, against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Yeah, and honestly, it was super fluke. You remember
if Mahomes stays healthy, you think that game's that close? Because Chad Henne threw a prayer to he said, "Fuck it, Tyreek down there somewhere," and he just got picked off. That's me and Matt, and I'll be honest, I'll just be throwing up Tyreek. But I think if Mahomes stays in that game, I think it's 31-21. That's me being generous. I think the Chiefs had them as long as Mahomes was in.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, clear-cut kings of AFC North. I guess only time will tell. But gonna go ahead and leave that there. Was there anything else you want to bring up?
I also want to bring up Hodog's point. Bills have a legit great quarterback in the making. Josh Allen. He gets hurt, their season goes to. I got to agree. Honestly, I think Josh Allen is going to be a top 5 quarterback next year, maybe top 3. He was doing it without Diggs. He did it with Beasley, John Brown, and I think it was McKenzie and then Knox. I definitely think the Bills could challenge for the 1 seed, depending how the Chiefs do with injuries and everything, and how their line holds up. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills get number 1. It's between them and the Chiefs for 1 and 2.
Yeah, and the Bills, they went out and they got one of the biggest things that they needed, which was edge rusher. I think they landed.
They did a great a great free agency. They re-signed a lot of their guys. Their line is still intact. You remember Josh Allen would just sit in the pocket, standing still.
Yeah.
Do that again.
Oh man, 5 wide. Yeah. All right. It's going to be an interesting season, guys. It's going to be a very, very interesting season. Real quick, Sanju V, shout out to you for joining the stream. Thank you for joining tonight. Says the Pats will be in the playoffs barring injury, 7-9 with all those opt-outs, and they beat us with no weapons. They spent $300 million in the offseason.
That's my thing. You can't buy chemistry.
Yeah.
And it's weird for people to go into Belichick's system and do good, such as Judon.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll monitor how Matthew Judon does this season as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, guys, we'll go ahead and leave that there for the night. I think now we're going to go ahead and get into our questions segment, our favorite segment of the night, where you guys can go ahead and ask us anything, me and Alex, anything that you want to ask us, whether it be about Ravens football, whether it be about another NFL team, another sport, or maybe not even about sports, maybe about life, maybe about food, maybe about this, maybe about that. It doesn't matter. You can ask us right now in the live chat comment section. If you're not watching this live and you're watching the replay, you can scroll down a little bit, leave a comment with your questions, comments, or concerns, and we will get to you guys as well. And like the video, guys. But thank you guys so much for joining. We're going to go ahead and get into our questions segment, see what you guys have for us.
With 80 people watching, too, so thank you. I keep on
80 people watching. Big shout out to
you
guys. Yeah, you do. You do keep dropping that pin. All right. Void says, how do you feel if Jonathan Ogden coached up Tyree Phillips?
I wouldn't be against it.
Wouldn't be against that at all.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be against that at all. Shout out to you, Void. Let's see. Rush says, Sutton, you watched the Canelo fight? I did catch the Canelo fight. Not all of it. I caught like the last 3 rounds of it, which was kind of like the most important part. So Canelo Alvarez, he just defeated Billy Joe Saunders over the weekend, and it was a pretty good fight. Billy Joe Saunders, he was putting on a pretty good show until it seemed like he got a little bit tired. Canelo was walking him down a little bit, kind of getting him into corners and hitting him with big shots. Next thing you know, Billy Joe Saunders, his eye wouldn't open. It was closed. It was swollen shut. And, they had to stop the fight. He didn't get off of his stool going into the 9th round. So Canelo won that. But, I mean, another thing, man, I don't keep up with boxing all that much. Billy Joe Saunders, I kind of knew who he was, but not really. And the fact that Canelo Alvarez, one of the best and biggest boxers in the world, is fighting him is kind of a problem to me. Like, if it's a big, boxing event, I should know both guys. And, that's just what I think is the issue with boxing. I hope Canelo fights a bigger name next. But thank you for your question. Let's see. Hodog says, so where does Aaron Rodgers end up?
I think Green Bay. I think he stays. I think he's going to stay in Green Bay. I saw that they offered him a new contract. I can see him staying there.
Yeah, I could totally see that too. I think they'll try to. It would just be too messy. I think it would just be too messy trying to get Rodgers out of there and just kind of
Jordan Love. I mean, they're in a win now window. I mean, come on.
They are in a win now window. I don't think you want to waste the best years of Devontae Adams developing Jordan Love. I think you got to maximize what Aaron Rodgers has with him now. So. Yep. Moving along here, let's see. Anonymous says, did you guys see the leaked schedule? I don't know how real it is, but it says we're playing the Bengals week 1.
Wouldn't surprise me. Home or away? Wouldn't surprise me, though.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
We'll have to check that out. I have not seen the leaked schedule yet. AOPJ says, what are the chances of Lamar getting his second MVP with the improved weapons on the outside? I think his chances improve exponentially, and I think it's less about the weapons on the outside and more about the protection on the offensive line. Because I mean, like I said the other week, man, you got to look at when the last time Lamar Jackson had a solid, stable offensive line with Ronnie Stanley, Orlando Brown, Marshall Yanda, Bozeman, those guys. He won MVP, led the league in touchdown passes, and now that it seems that we're getting to some sort of stability with the O-line, that's the hope, at least. I think that he could definitely get back to that MVP status with the addition of all the weapons too.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that'd be lovely.
That's the hope. Let's see. Tyler Sugar says, who would you rather play week 1? The Chiefs, Browns, Steelers, or Packers? Go.
Browns. Browns. Give me the Browns early so we can get a nice little reality check.
Yeah, I mean, it won't happen because that's what we got last year, week 1. That's for sure. But
it seems like we played like the Bengals either week 1 or the Browns. Who else? We got the Dolphins in 1 year. Bills, we blew them out. Nathan Peter, goat. I don't want the Chiefs though because I feel like I want to see them like mid-season where like we're hitting our stride. Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Steelers week 1 though. That'd be a fun way to kick off the season.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ravens games, you know what I was thinking, Alex? I was thinking that we should really go to a Ravens versus Browns game. I think Ravens versus Browns is going to be like the new big rivalry in, the AFC North. So I think we should definitely go to one of those games. What do you think?
Listen, man, I would love to, but I feel like, just get a little too rowdy. I think I have to stop you from fighting somebody.
Stop me from fighting.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I've been to a Ravens versus Browns game before.
Let's not talk about it. We know what.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. But maybe you guys might see us at a Ravens game.
Definitely preseason. I'm going to preseason game no matter what. I don't care. We're going.
Yeah.
We're going to see Trace McSorley.
Yeah, we will see. Void says, is Westbrook better than Damian Lillard? In terms of like an all-around talent, I would say yes. I would say Westbrook is better. But in terms of like a who's more dangerous as like a scorer, I'm gonna say Dame, because Dame can pull up from the logo. That's why they call him Logo Lillard. You know, you have to guard so much of the court when Dame is on the floor. But Westbrook, I mean, he can just fill up the stat sheet, right, man? He's averaging a triple double. He's got as many triple doubles as the Big O, Oscar Robertson, man. Like he's crazy. He's a phenomenal player. But all in all, I would say Westbrook is better than Dame, though.
Okay. So, Anonymous, real quick, do we have any super chats by any chance?
No.
Okay. Anonymous sent me the schedule. It says we have Cincy home, Cleveland week 2, Chargers week 3, Miami week 4, Pittsburgh 5, Green Bay 6, Denver 7, the Vikings 8, the Colts 9, a bye week 10, Cleveland 11, Detroit 12. We played Jared Goff. Oh, pain. That's going to hurt. The Raiders 13, Chicago 14, KC 15, Cincy 16, Pittsburgh 17. Can you imagine?
Wait, go through that last like 5.
Okay. Cleveland 11, Detroit 12, the Raiders 13, the Bears 14, the Chiefs 15, the Bengals 16, the Steelers 17. I like the Chiefs late. I like that a lot.
Me too. That's like a gut check right before the playoffs. Like the playoffs before the playoffs.
Yeah. Rush actually donated $2 to us.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Rush. We appreciate you. I didn't even Thank you so much, man, for
he actually
donating
DM'd
to
me.
the channel.
We were talking about this on Instagram. Feeling a Purple Rain fantasy league. I know him and the God are down. I know they're there's 4. We're gonna be 12 teams.
We're going to do it. 10. Yeah, 12 teams. We can do it. Yeah, the Rain Gang. We'll find a way, to get you guys filled out in there so we can get 12 teams. We'll get a Purple Rain Podcast Fantasy League going next year. We'll do a draft, all that. That'd be dope.
People don't remember. We had a segment literally just talking about fantasy. We would give fantasy advice. I missed it, man. That was fun.
That will be back. Back for sure. All right. So moving on here, we'll take some more questions from you guys. Let's see. Jose Castillo chimes in and says, what are the chances Rashad Bateman gets 1K yards this season? 1,000 yards from the rookie receiver. What are the chances on that?
Well, 5%.
Very slim. Very slim.
Yeah.
It's only one football to go around in an offense that is, very run heavy, where we just said about a half an hour ago right here on this very show, this very episode, that Hollywood Brown is probably going to lead the team in target share percentage. I mean, with that being said, he'll probably have them, more opportunities. Rashad Bateman, he is a guy who can run after the catch. He doesn't really have that breakaway speed, so I don't really see him getting too many of those type of plays where he just kind of gets away from everybody. He may have a couple though, because he shows flashes, but 1K yards this season, I don't think it's going to happen.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Don't think it's going to happen. Just considering how, we use our rookie wide receivers in general. Don't think it's going to happen. But, yeah. All right, so another question coming in from our guy Click1 says, answer this and be unbiased as possible. Is Lamar Jackson better than Josh Allen? I think yes. Allen's season last year was statistically better than Lamar's MVP year, but Lamar also sat out 11 quarters. Good point.
Yep. Yeah, he was. Who was Lamar throwing to his MVP season?
Seth Roberts, Willie Snead.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, I'm just saying.
I know, but come on. No Willie Snead disrespect. Come on now.
No, I'm not disrespecting Willie Snead. I'm just stating the facts. I was going to say Mark Andrews after that.
Okay, fair enough. But come on, who Allen had last year? Brown, Beasley, Diggs. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm going. Yeah. And then he beat him in Buffalo in 19.
Yeah.
And yes, Josh Allen beat Lamar Jackson for one half. Not a full 4 quarters.
Right.
But not respect.
I definitely
I have nothing but respect for him and Josh Allen.
Right, exactly. Big respect to Josh Allen. He's going to be a great quarterback in this league for years to come. But, I mean, for Lamar Jackson, I think he just checks off more boxes than, Josh Allen does. we've seen Lamar. He can make all the throws. Now, in terms of doing it consistently, then, you know, that's something that he needs to develop even more. But he can make the throws, man. And he's a lot more dynamic, of course, a lot more electrifying with his legs as well. So he gives the offense a lot more options. So for that reason, I'm taking Lamar as being better than Josh Allen.
And real quick, can we get 13 more likes, please, on the video?
Ooh.
Let's get to 75.
Yeah.
Can we bring up Anonymous asked us, where is it at? No, somebody asked, will there be any 1,000 yard receivers? Oh, Asmodeus asks that. Does anyone get 1K yards this season? And yes. And it's not a receiver. It's a tight end. It's Mark Andrews. I have Mark Andrews going for 1K this year.
Okay. I like that.
I think Hollywood, I predicted Hollywood too, but
yeah,
I think it's definitely working now in Mark Andrews' favor to definitely get 1K.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. I mean, I think that Mark Andrews this season, he might,
sign him
out of
now.
all people.
Sign him now.
Yeah, honestly, because this might be a big breakout season for Mark Andrews with all the attention being allocated to guys like Sammy Watkins and Rashad Bateman and more on Hollywood Brown now. I mean, he's not going to be able to get double and triple teamed every other play now. So we might see more one-on-one coverage on him. He might be able to go up, just jump out the gym, make plays on guys. So I'm very excited. I like that 1K yard prediction for Mark Andrews. I like that a lot. So.
And of course, Boss says, like the video where the kids don't eat. It's honestly that simple.
Yeah. Well.
Come on.
We'll take one more question here. This one's coming from our guy John Stadelman. Says, how many all-purpose yards do you think J.K. Dobbins will get this season?
Take this one away. Take it away. You've been calling it.
Oh man, how many, man? I would probably say like all-purpose. It's so tough to say because like with Lamar Jackson in the offense, but I was maybe say like 1,200, 1,300, somewhere around that area.
You say 900 rushed, 400 receiving, or 800?
Yeah, somewhere around there. You know, I think that could work, but just with how crowded that backfield is, because Gus Edwards is gonna have to eat too. Gus is gonna have to eat. He's gonna take away a lot of those, I think, fourth quarter, late third quarter snaps. And then, of course, he's running with, you know, Lamar Jackson and things like that. He'll definitely be limited in some ways, but 1,200 to 1,300 is probably in the area that I'm guessing for sure.
Fair enough.
And I see some of you guys. Let's see. Voice says 1,700, 1,200 ground. Let's see. 1,500 Devon Johnson. 1,200 Asmodeus. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see, but yeah, J.K. Dobbins, like we said earlier, top 3 most exciting players on the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins, Justin Madubuike, and one more. Who's the last one?
I want to say Patrick Queen.
Queen? We know how important linebacker is to the Ravens defense.
Yeah.
Queen, he had his rookie season last year in a COVID year. He still played pretty well, contended for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
If he just improves his coverage, his pass coverage, he can be so much better. That was his biggest weakness.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you locking that in? Dobbins, Madubuike, and Queen?
Locked in.
Locked in. Okay. I like that.
I noticed they're all from last year's draft, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we expect a lot out of those guys coming up this season.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Was there anything else you had?
I just want to bring up something that G-Money said. Come on.
What did he say?
He's more excited this season than he was for Lamar Jackson's MVP year. Jared, I'm right next to you. I am so excited for these receivers, this defense, this running back duo, these tight ends, Mark Andrews. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Bring all of it on, man. Bring all of it on. He also says, Sutton Def and Simply AS10, thanks again for a great Purple Rain podcast. And Gerald, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Amos Modis. Thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for supporting us for 50 episodes.
50 episodes. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, like my guy Alex said, for 50 episodes, man. And, you know, we couldn't make it this far without the Rain Gang. So we really do appreciate you guys all for coming through consistently, you know, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. We appreciate all of you guys, man. And we love you guys. And we hope you guys continue to come out and rock out with us, because we're going to continue to rock out with you guys, Rain Gang. So this has been another episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 50 to be exact. And, you know, just kind of wrapping it up here. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram and follow me at Sutton Def. DM me, mention me. We can talk about Ravens football a little bit more in detail, about other things too. And this guy over here, that is Simply AS10, the one and only. You can find him on Twitter or Instagram at Simply AS10. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out. Yeah.
Real quick, while you're still here, little sneak preview. On Thursday, we are giving our Ravens win-loss prediction. And thank you for subscribing.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I'm just letting you guys know right now. Thursday, be ready. We're going through game by game, win-loss predictions. You know, thank you, Misfit. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. But until then, thank you for coming through to episode 50 of the Purple Rain Podcast, a big one. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
And most importantly, call God.